Hello and welcome. I had this old Forex account with about $30 in it that had been sitting idle for a while. So in September, I brought the balance up to $250, then started trading it again using my hedge fund algo, the OB Forex Goose, but with super aggressive settings. I would never use these settings in an actual hedge fund. I made it a goal to trade this account from $250 to $100,000 in the shortest time possible with no additional deposits. This is the first in a series of videos showing the journey from $250 to $100K. This video will explain things like the chart, the indicators, a little bit about the strategy, etc. But first, a little bit about the performance so far. I started trading this account in September of 2020 with $250. It is now November 1st of 2020, almost 2 months later. As you can see, I'm up 57% in less than 2 months, with just over 14% drawdown. If I can continue at this rate, I should be able to reach 100K in less than 2 years. But of course, this will not happen because I plan to withdraw money as I go. I'll explain my withdrawal strategy when it's time for my first withdrawal. So let's look at some stats. If you look here, this is Myfxbook. If you're not familiar with Myfxbook, it's a site that lets you put your account on there so that people can see your stats. They can see your performance and they can see all these cool stats. Like for example, I'm showing 57% gains. Like if you look here, it shows the first trade happened on September 9th, right? And the last thing recorded here is October 30, and I've got 57% gains in just under 2 months, okay? You know, it's saying monthly 30%, drawdown, that's the max drawdown, 14.4%, the balance is 390, blah, blah, blah. Here's my profit, $140 so far, $250 deposit. Oh, I'm 48 cents over, so I lied. I started with $250 and 48 cents. Okay, let's look at some more advanced stats. Look at the trades, for example. If you look here, we've had 173 trades so far, so it's a scalper. The OB Forex Goose is actually a scalper that uses a basket trade algorithm. It's kind of a weird hybrid basket scalper thing. 173 trades in 2 months. 84% accuracy, right? Or profitability, I guess, I don't know. Yeah, 84%. What else we're looking at? Average win is 8.8 pips right now, which amounts to about $1.95. The average loss, so the losers are bigger, but since I have an 84% accuracy, you know, clearly I'm doing pretty well. I've only traded a total of 3.87 lots right now. And what else? The rest of the stuff is pretty standard. Standard deviation, Sharpe ratio. The Sharpe ratio is not great, but because of the algorithm, it's not significant. Over here we've got, like I said, it's been just 2 months. So the first month it shows 24%. Second month, 26%. You know, so that's that, right? So now let's look at the chart itself, because I want to explain a bunch of stuff on the chart. First things first, this indicator here is really cool. It's called the spike indicator. This is everything on this chart. Every indicator on this chart I wrote myself, right? And it's available for sale on my website, which I'll have the link below. This is the spike indicator, and this entire algorithm is essentially based on that spike indicator. This is a Donchian channel, but it's a custom Donchian that's different than the standard, what most people consider Donchian. It's just a slight variation, but essentially it's pretty much the same. It's just a price channel that spans a certain amount of time. In this case, we're looking at a 4-period Dantian on a 15-minute chart. So it's going back 1 hour is all that means. These blue and red lines, so those are, this is also my indicator called a trade history indicator. And these arrows with the circles mark the start of a trade opened at that point. And a red arrow means it's a sell. And then over here you see a blue arrow. Blue arrows mean buy. Red arrows mean sell. Looks like the majority of these were sells, but there were some buys. Okay. The line here shows, well, it connects the open to the close. So on each one, I gotta find one that's alone. There's one that's all by itself. So it opened here and it closed here. And then the line just basically shows, you know, just a line that connects the two, the open and close, right? But if you hover over it, it shows you the gain or loss in points. And it shows you the open and close price, basically, right? So this one gained me 73 points, right? 7.3 pips, basically. Okay? Blue line means a profitable trade. Red line means a losing trade. I closed this one with a loss. I closed this one with a gain. Okay? Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but this chart, I'm back on... Oh, actually, I'm way at the end of the thing, so I'm going to scroll all the way back. Well, before I do that, let's go over the other indicators. I went over the Dantian. I spoke a little bit about the spike indicator. And you'll see in time when the markets are open and I've got new videos showing, because I'm going to try and post as close to daily as possible, just so you can see the progress as it happens. You'll see the spike indicator. There's a little dash there, but that dash grows towards the right hand side here, and the closer it is to this side, the closer I am to an actual signal, trade signal. Okay. What else? This guy here, this is the trade profit indicator that I wrote also, and this is there's no correlation to the chart, right? This just shows most recently my average, the average profit of my last 100 trades was what, 97 cents, right? So the last 100 trades I averaged 97 cents profit. So I made about $97 in the last 100 trades. And so you can see over time how, you know, when you go from left to right, this is the very first trade, and when you go from left to right, you see kind of over time the average profit per trade goes up. Okay, and then every now and again the account will take a hit, and that drops that average, and then I have to I have to get back to the high water mark and restore my average profit per trade. It's a handy indicator for some things. For other things, it's not. You know, that's one of those. But it comes with my software, so it's pretty cool to have. Another thing that's on here that you can't see and it's not obvious is I do have a trade open here, and that's my stop loss. Is way out there, but it's not too bad. But there's also a purple line called the break-even line, and you can see the purple marker here. And all that's telling me is that if you take all the trades on the chart, in this case there's one trade open, right? But if I had 10 trades open on the chart, this line would be sitting right at the break-even point. So whatever price this line is on, as soon as the price touches that I know I'm at break-even. Once it goes beyond that, I'm in profit. Even if 9 out of the 10 trades are at loss, you know, but the one is big enough to make up the difference, the break-even line will show where that break-even point is. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning. I'm gonna go way back. September 9. Okay, September 9 is the first trade, right? So I've got a buy, sell, and my algorithm uses baskets. right? I'm going to give away a little bit of the algo. If you notice, most of the trade entries correspond with a breakout of the Donchian channel, right? So there's an entry there. Okay. Here's another entry here, but this one was a fail. This one I got in, and then the price went against me. So then I dollar cost average, right? I got in again, and then if you notice, both of the trades close at the same time, because now this is not just two separate trades, it's actually a basket of trades. And when I close the basket, the entire basket is in profit, even if some of the trades are in loss. Here's a perfect example, right? Here's a sell. I put a sell in here that was wrong. I called it wrong, right? I mean, the thing calls it wrong sometimes. I put in another sell, to try and dollar cost average, and another, and another, and another. So I got 5 altogether, right? When the price finally retraced and I closed them all out, that put me that point right there is a few pips beyond the break even, right? I can't tell you exactly what that number is, but it's probably something like 6 or 7 pips beyond break even. So what that means, though, is that when these trades all close, let's say I got 5 trades here and I'm aiming for 5 pips profit, when they all close in the basket above the break even, it's the same effect as if I had closed each one of them individually with 5 pips profit. So it's the same as having 5 winning trades, even though 2 of them are showing as clear losers. I hope that makes sense. But that's pretty much how I go. I get a signal, I trade, right? And I try and scalp 4 or 5 pips, right? Same here. And then I keep getting signals and I keep scalping, and I keep getting signals and I keep scalping. And then eventually I call it wrong and it dollar cost averages, right? And then I close with a profit regardless. So unless something seriously bad happens, I generally always close in profit. And I'll show you a couple of examples where that didn't happen. But for the most part, this is how it happens. Okay, so here I'm doing 5 trades. But then at this point, I changed my algorithm a little bit. I changed the settings so that I would never have more than 3 trades open in my basket at one time. So that allows me to have larger lot sizes with this small amount of money, and so now I can kind of hit it harder and I can increase my profits, right? But now I have less chances to dollar cost average as well. So here, let's keep going. So if you notice too, when I call it wrong, sometimes it takes a whole day or 2 to get out of the trading round. But when I call it right, it's never more than, a couple of hours, right? Well, that's a few hours right there. So, but yeah, like I said, it's never more than a few hours. Usually it's more like this, I catch a spike and then I get a bunch of, wait, that was a good example right back here. See, I catch a spike, remember spike detector? I catch a spike and then it rides it all the way up. I get, 4 or 5 pips, 5 pips, 5 pips, whatever. What is this one here? This one says, I can't get it. Nope, it won't let me mark that one. Let me see if I can get that one. Oops. See, that one's actually 12 pips. So that was a pretty fast move. I have a trailing stop that trails, that tries to maximize the profits. So let's keep going. See, here I called it wrong on a sell, but the basket, it did the dollar cost averaging and it got out in profit, right? Kept going, same thing here. I got a few streaks. I call these streaks. When I get them right, I call them streaks, but then I get it wrong, and then I have to dollar cost average, and then I have another streak, and then okay. Oh, I just realized this is all the original settings for the algorithm, right? And then I toned it way down. I actually made it so that it has a higher accuracy so that I can hit it harder, but it's going to trade less often. And so that's why you have these sometimes almost a day or 2 in between trades. But then it started calling it right a lot more often, right? Look at this streak right here. Wham! I mean, look at how many pips I captured all the way down. And then some people might think, well, why don't you just put your trade in here and close it here? Well, because, okay, let's say I make this trade and it closes in profit, and now all of a sudden I have enough margin in my account to increase my lot size. The next trade can be bigger, and maybe bigger and bigger, right? I mean, in this case, I don't have enough money. The account's tiny, so all of these trades are pretty much the same size. But eventually, it's going to be to where one winning trade will increase my account value enough that I can increase the lot size on the very next trade. And so then something like this makes a whole lot more sense. Okay, here's one where it looks like I caught the bottom of a trend, but it didn't go far enough back to dollar cost average and still came out in profit, you know, nearly a day later. All right, let's move on. Here's one where I called it wrong and it took me, geez, 2 days to get out of that one. Okay. Here's some more. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Oh, that was a big one. Look at that. That one took like 4 days to get out of. And around here somewhere, there's one. Oh, there. Okay. So this is important because this is how I take hits. This is how the account takes hits, right? I got a little streak here, yeah, and then a day went by, and then I placed a buy. Let me see. Yeah, I placed a buy here. No, this is a separate round. I placed a buy here, and then I dollar cost average, and I got out. And then I placed a buy here, and it won. And then this is the top of a trend, basically like this uptrend. Here's the reversal. I bought in at the top, and I dollar cost averaged, and then I dollar cost average, and that would have been my 3 open trades. But then my stop loss on the first trade was down here. And as soon as that stop loss got triggered, I had to take that hit. But then I open a new trade, and what that does is that moves my break-even price on this basket down to here somewhere, right? It basically moves the break-even price closer to the current price. And hopefully, if the trend doesn't continue further down and stop out my next trade and the next one, because that's when you really start losing money, right? So I take that hit, I close this basket. Now the account's down a little bit, but not so much that it's going to take forever to recover, right? But even so, oh, let's go back to the Myfxbook real quick, right? See this right here? That was the hit I took. So I went from 33% drawdown, or 33% profit to 26, almost 27% profit. And then it took, let me see, it took 4 days to recover and get back above the high water mark. Does that make sense? And I took another hit over here, same thing. And a few days later, I'm back above the high water mark. So the hits, even though they might seem pretty gnarly, right? I mean, that's a pretty gnarly drop. The recovery is quick. And that's the beautiful thing about this algo. Here's a basket that took forever, followed by a little winning streak. The winning streaks are nice because they really boost up your account balance fast, right? So like what took 3 days to close 3 trades, and then in the next maybe 2 hours I closed another 4 or 5, right? So that was awesome. Okay, and then we got some more here, another basket here. Check out this streak here. This was a beautiful one. Look at that, all the way up, right? Some slow trades, but for the most part it was nice and quick, short, in and out. There's my second loser. Okay, so let's see if we can see this one. I buy at the top, okay, and then dollar cost average, dollar cost average, dollar, oh, that's weird, dollar cost average, and then I hit my stop. No, something's not right. Okay, I buy in here, dollar cost average, dollar cost average. That's my 3 trades. So then I must have got stopped out, and then the price quickly moved back up before I got in again. I bet that's what happened, because I wouldn't have 4 trades open at once. So this, I got stopped out, and then I quickly got back in, and then I closed that basket, you know, and I took the hit because of this guy here. I got 88 pips, but I did manage to gain some profits to make up some of that loss. And then over the next 4 days or so, I recovered all my losses, right? Okay, keep going. Now we're getting to the end. Yep, this is the end here. And it placed a trade on Friday, I think, and now right now it's Sunday. So that's kind of how it all works, right? We've got the Donchian channel, and like I said, the trades, that's not a good one. The sell signals occur on the bottom of the channel. The buy signals occur at the top of the channel. And then if I get it right, I just keep going, assuming that there's enough movement in the market to keep going. If I get it wrong, I dollar cost average to get out of the round as soon as possible so that I can catch the next signal and hopefully get them right from now on. Okay, so this is day 1. This is the first recording of the series, even though I'm 2 months into the trading. But oh yeah, if you look here, I got $390. Like I said, I started with 250 and I'm at 390 right now, you know, nearly 2 months later. I think my first trade was September 9. So on the 9th of November will be the 2-month mark. If there's any more information, I'll leave links in the description of this video. I'll leave a link to the Myfxbook and also a link to my product on, I think it's still called Tony Manso Forex, but it's going to be called Oddbeaker Forex eventually. Alright, so that's all I got for now. Be sure to like the video and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.